Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today with some crypto XRP, Ripple news as usual. But it's a nice week because it's green. Look at this. This is the weekly view. The daily view has calmed down a bit again. Individual outliers like Dogecoin, of course, with 28.2%, Crow with 26.4%, and the last hour. A little less gas, or rather just the momentum has gone out. No, not at all. Bitcoin has pulled $84,300. And let's get to a point when it made $83,400 today, Leia, with the following tweet. My sources tell me that President Trump has a big meeting with his crypto today. Expect big and bullish news later. And Bitcoin has just reached $83,400. Leah, I will show you again. She is a young lady who has almost 700,000 followers here on X. And she has a YouTube channel with almost 500,000 subscribers. So, she has very good connections. Let's wait and see if more comes. Let's stay with Trump or his vice, and then we'll get to Good Morning Crypto. Apps with the following message: definitely watch. Vice President JD. Binance explains how SEC Chair Gary Gensler has failed to regulate crypto, like the pardon. If there is a candidate for the worst person in Biden's administration, it is Gary Gensler. The war against crypto comes to a conclusion in January in the year 2023, starting with the dismissal of Gary Gensler, or perhaps even the end of the SEC case against Ripple. We'll indeed have to be surprised. I also found this short excerpt for you to read along, as X has no German subtitles here. I am now using the video from All in Crypto. Here are the statements, and I ask you again at the end.
Okay, so Gary Gensler is sort of the complete opposite of my view, and there are two problems that I have. One of which is that I think he wants to inject politics way too much into the actual business of securities, States of America. But in some ways, the more fundamental issue for this conference is 2001. The approach that Gary has taken to regulating blockchain and crypto seems to be almost the exact opposite of what it should be. I'm oversimplifying a little bit, but the question the SEC seems to ask in regulating crypto is this a token with utility? And if it's a token with utility, then they seem to want to ban it. And if it's a token without utility, they don't seem to care.
Is that the kicker? So what I'm saying, which is already very skewed, is that all the utility tokens that have applications are being pursued and sued by the SEC. I can only remind you of Debtbox or others. There are plenty of others. But the meme coins are just let through. No one cares. And there is a lot of scam involved. And of course, the retailers are often taken advantage of. I'll definitely stick with that and swiftly come to the news. Speaking of being taken advantage of, Watcher Guru is suing Binance and founder CZ for $1.8 billion US. What is this about? The entire crypto community is celebrating the market's upswing. This weekend, the well-known crypto Binance has been in turbulent waters in recent years. It seems that the legal problems of the law firm are not yet over. Recently, FTX filed a lawsuit against Binance Holdings Ltd, as well as Changpeng Zhao, the founder and former CEO of the company. FTX is suing the exchange for a staggering $1.8 billion US. During the still existing FTX times, Binance acquired a stake in FTX, and FTX bought it back after a certain time for, you can guess, 3 times $1.8 billion. And This buyback was likely financed by customer funds. And now the bankruptcy administrator says, that's not your money, we want it back. Well, I am curious to see how this develops, because if they stick to their plans to bring FTX 2.0 back to the market, which I can really imagine, it will be just before the upcoming bill. Let's take a look. And not to forget regulatory clarity, I am curious to see how Binance Holdings reacts and then simply says, okay, you have your money, we want our shares back. Then that would certainly be a good deal again. Let's stay briefly with, well, lawyers, etc. And I already pointed out John Reed Stark in one of the last videos. Former SEC lawyer and an enemy of crypto. But he also seems to have recognized the signs of the times now. He tweets the following. The stark reality is that people have undeniably spoken, namely in the recent election, and the SEC should undoubtedly stop all crypto, reject or settle all ongoing and unresolved crypto, and Chairman Gary Gensler should resign. The victory of President Trump was undoubtedly a tremendous landslide victory and should be respected. To the moon, I guess. Yes, I guess so too. A lot will happen here in the coming weeks and months. And with that, I would like to share an announcement with you. Fruit Films, or Production, XRP, Unleashed will be renamed, manipulated from the start, and reveals the SEC's war against crypto. XRP, Unleashed will appear in the final moments of the film to show our rise after this long struggle. But we need to adjust the main title so that we can make the story accessible to those outside the crypto community. Well, Fruit and Production presents Rigged from the Start. I think that's very good. Because with an XRP, Unleashed at Ripple Pay and Amazon, I can't do anything with it either. But such a documentary needs a bit of a sensational title, and the SEC knows many. It can also be a small reassurance for XRP holders, or perhaps even create a little FOMO moment. Let's be surprised. Then I come to an article from investingblockchain.com. Coincidence, a Brixland. Ripple. India's largest IT provider, Tata Consultancy Services, has just announced that it is using Ripple for its remittance services. Sure, just coincidence. Indian Ripple continues to expand. Let's move from one BRICS member to another. Let's return to the United Arab Emirates. Here again is the official post from Ripple on the Ripple website homepage. Stablecoin regulation in the United Arab Emirates, a blueprint for financial innovations. And there I go down and click on this highlighted area. Ripple is also a prominent player in the region. The National Bank of Abu Dhabi was the first bank in the Middle East to use Ripple payments to offer instant, secure, and cost-effective remittance solutions. A crucial advantage in the country, transferring nearly $80 million in remittances in 2022, and the digital asset XRP was approved by the Dubai Binance Services Authority for use in DIFC at the end of last year. I find that really interesting and quite bullish. And since it just came to my mind, wait, I read the article completely, by the way. The previous one. All links are below in the video description. You are, of course, welcome to read it again. But now let's return to Tata Consultancy Services, because here I scroll down. See it? Previous plans to use the Corda beta from R3. Tata Consultancy Services announced this March. This is the Microsoft Azure. We'll use the highly advanced blockchain cloud with R3's Corda enterprise blockchain platform to drive the scalable adoption of blockchain across all industries. XRP will indeed be the first crypto for the Corda beta, which significantly offers further opportunities for XRP to be used by Tata Consultancy Services. And again here, the rumors that R3 uses Corda, XRP, and or XDC. I couldn't find anything further on that now. I really searched for a long time, folks, but unfortunately. But let's just assume it might be like that. Then that's it. For now, from the Ripple and crypto news. And now I will address this topic. No, I'll go back to the chart. I'll go back to the chart. Look at what I noticed there. We see that we have broken out above the upper triangle leg, and it's always the same story. Do you see that? I will make it colorful. Here. Oops. Sorry. Brush on here. Bill. Through. Then we shot through here. 1, 2 times daily view, please. We received support down here. Then we broke through. Tried again and then went down properly. Again through. And now we are through. Will we hold through? I don't know. Let's be surprised. We have to wait for the momentum. We really have Bitcoin here by the finest people. And Bitcoin sets the direction. And then I will also refer to a tweet from Ricked Bill Crypto with the following prediction. XRP. Massive increase on the way. Similar to Dogecoin. Probably a $2 target by the end of the year. And I look at the story, I do not know if $2 will be enough. That would be somewhere in the range where the mouse is swirling around. Let's wait. Maybe it will reach its old all-time high after all. Maybe it will even go higher. Let's see. I am very relaxed about all of this, especially when I keep following the news. And now just a little note about this story so that you don't fall for it yourselves. If it comes down to taking profits now, reaching the peak, or you lose it, how can you recognize that you are losing it? Let's keep it simple. I am inside accredited. I was allowed to complete the entire training, and I learned something very important there. There are different types of people. Of course, this does not apply to everyone 100%, but let me show you this inside wheel. So I ask, if you're not interested, you can switch off. I find it very interesting as what happens to every person when they are under stress. And I have 2 examples for you. One is myself and the other is a channel member who is in the Telegram group. Here, we have different distinctions. On the left, we have the vertical bar, which says introverted. These are the thinkers who are more inward, and then there are the extroverts. You can see that on the right bar. I am an extrovert, and then there is task-oriented, and there are people-oriented. I am people-oriented. I am an extroverted, people-oriented person. I like to approach people. I yellow. You can see here, am I strong? Initiative, yes. So, you can read along. It doesn't always apply 100%. It's just, and this is only 5% of Insight people. I'm just giving you a rough overview. And then we have the introverted, people-oriented, as an example, are usually HR personnel. They are caring, consistent. Then we have the introverted, task-oriented. I believe my brother is one of those. Numbers, data, facts, calm within himself, and completely task-oriented. These are the ones you would imagine as an accountant or a controller. They are usually completely focused on the task and very calm. And then we naturally have the extroverted, task-oriented. You can imagine it like the boss who walks through the company and says, do this, do that, do this, and here, boom, we need to deliver and blah, blah, blah. Just as an example. But now we come to this moment of stress. What happens when you find yourself there in some way? I admit I am a yellow. I have taken enough tests, always scoring over 90% yellow. Now we have someone in the group whom I perceive as very green. He has invested because he wants to give his wife something that is truly great, namely that he no longer has to go to work. That's why he is invested. Very, very family-oriented, rather the calm one, a green, is a green. What happens now when you are in a color and come under stress? And such a bill is stress. I tell you, it will be psychological terror par excellence. If it repeats itself even remotely like in 17 or 21, it is pure stress. Let's not kid ourselves. And what happens now when one comes under stress? One switches to the opposite, one switches off, absolutely to the opposite. And if you notice that you are stressed and come out of your color and go to the exact opposite, you can look here again. When I am stressed, I go into the blue. Oh. There I become very calm. I become very quiet and only calculate A, B, C, line, table. Those are moments of stress. I had that, for example, last year in the spring, summer when I worked out the economic outlook. I was blue then. I was dark blue. So blue. And a green like our channel member switches to red. He then becomes extroverted. He then becomes louder. And then he says like. That is completely away from his core. And when I observe such things in people, I always find it highly interesting. That's why I ask you to pay attention to that. Maybe you can see yourself in some color. Not everyone has just one. There are people who even have 3 colors. They are extremely flexible. They are also a bit differently wired. Based on this theory of colors, I also believe that one should always treat people the way they want to be treated, and not how one wants to be treated oneself. I cannot treat a red by treating him like a yellow. That doesn't work at all. A blue even less so. Okay, so if you notice that you somehow switch from one color to another, be careful. Don't make mistakes. I also have a story that I would like to point out at the end of this video. I will now take a step back slightly in the coming months. I take back my view a bit that we will see a crash next month. I think that the new US government will drive the economy incredibly forward. We will see a lot more liquidity here, which will of course also lead to stress factors again. Let's better hurry with that, but they will stretch it out a bit. I am very convinced of that. So, if we're lucky, maybe this bill will actually go through with a final bill into next year. Summer, autumn, God willing. So, I will be looking at the indicators in the coming months. I won't say, I sell at this or that. I will only focus on the indicators because 2021 has Plan B. These $100,000 here went through Twitter like crazy. In so many videos, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. Then he was not even at 70, and then the show was over. And there were indicators that he wouldn't reach 100. And that's what we want to focus on. If we have price targets for our coins and tokens and they are not reached, then I will take my profits, right? At least partially. And that's really it for today in the video. I wish you all the best and stay healthy. You can subscribe if you want. If not, that's okay too. I wish you a nice evening. Bye, friends.
Because Ripple is the usual one to lead the new global digital payment system and they use XRP. Mr. Payments Options. 2 years later, a federal task force formed, including a company that focuses on crypto. Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, governments of 32 countries, released a report about digitized payments. A year later, they launched a crypto company on their site. Ripple today, Bet I Than Cash Alliance, and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single legend. These sustainable development goals for 2030. You can do the SDGs logo, One Bill Gates, LEL World leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and the UNAN's official exchange white crypto is exchange officializing for their carbonizing credit solution. XRP, the World Bank moves to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by COTI ISO. 2. Who is the first ISO DO member? Focus on distributed ledger technology. Ripple, whose part? Ripple, 300 financial institutions, including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East United, Air Bratis, Thand, Morocco, BL, who has a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve. Ripple, BlackRock's digital asset division. Ripple leading Australia's CBDC effort. Ripple, a prominent company in the financial technology sector, has strategically expanded its board by hiring several distinguished individuals with extensive experience in both government and finance. Among these notable appointments is a former Secretary of the Treasury of the United States, who brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise in economic policy and financial regulation. Additionally, Ripple has welcomed 2 former attorneys from the Federal Reserve, each with a deep understanding of monetary policy and legal frameworks. The board also includes 2 former advisors who served under Presidents Clinton and Obama, providing valuable insights into governmental operations and international relations. Furthermore, a former Minister of Defense and Economics from Germany has joined the team, offering a unique perspective on global economic strategies and defense policies. Lastly, a former business. Do Ripple and XRP seem like they're going to disappear, or are they part of a much bigger plan? You decide.